Hey everybody! So last week I talked about vision and about why you needed to set a good vision and how to craft one. This week I want to talk to you about taking action. Radar, you ready to cross the street? So it's 8:30 in the morning. I'm out taking the dog for his morning walk through the neighborhood. And I wanted to get back to this topic of action and vision. You cannot have a successful vision without having action. And this, for some reason, tends to be the area where a lot of people get hung up. I get asked all the time, how do I do so many things in my life? You know, I just got finished writing a book. I video blog, I write for my blog, I also write for other industry blogs about video editing and theory. I also contribute to building my business, to managing my house. Like, how do I get so much done? And hold on a minute, there's a truck going by. Don't want to get that loudness in there. So, action is how I get all this stuff done. Now, it's not just about taking any old action. You've got to take the right kind of actions to be able to get things done. But more important than that, if you really want to do something completely different than your life, do something different than the norm, you have got to take a massive amount of action. And this is where a lot of folks get stuck because they don't take enough. They try a couple of things, they try getting a little bit here, a little bit there, and because it's not enough effort, it fails. And most people give up. And they go back and say, well, okay, it didn't work, therefore I'm not going to do it anymore. And that is a huge mistake. Because if you are going to give up at just a couple of little tries, then what was the point? You've got to have courage, you've got to have fortitude, and you've got to have stubbornness to go after what you want. Sorry, the dog's pulling me around. Do you mind not running for every single tree? The book that really helped me with this whole concept of taking action and how much action to take is written by Grant Cardone. It's called the 10X Rule. And in it, he describes what it takes to move things in the direction that you want to go. It's kind of like pushing a snowball up a hill. It's really easy to push a snowball downhill, but pushing one uphill takes effort because every time you turn that snowball over, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, I used to build snowmen as a kid, so I understand this really well. If you are going to do something different in your life that is not building what the system already has told you to build, it is exactly like building that snowman up a hill. You have to push exceedingly hard. And the book by Grant Cardone gives the context in which to think about to be able to take this kind of massive, massive action. Another critical component about action is consistency. Now, you can take massive amounts of action for 6 months, see a lot of stuff happen, and then everything's just going to peter out because you only took action for 6 months. You can take a lot of action on a single day every single week, but you're still not going to move your goals forward. The reason is consistency. Stephen Pressfield talks about this in his book called The War on Art, and he talks about how a professional is somebody who shows up every single day at the same time to make something happen. It's this consistency that guarantees that your actions are going to pay off because you're doing them every single day. It's kind of like that book called The One Thing. My mentors talked about this, but I haven't read it yet, about how if you're focusing on one thing, and you're doing something about it every single day, you are going to see results in there. This kind of consistency becomes addicting after a while. Now, it took me about 8 months to write my book. That includes gathering all the information, organizing my thoughts, getting it laid out, getting it put together, and then getting it off to a publisher and getting it printed off as an ebook. Well, not that you print off an ebook, but anyway, you know what I mean. It took me 8 months. And looking back at my notes, I did not work at it every single day. I worked at it once or twice a week. If I had worked at it every single day, I probably could have gotten that book done in 4 months or 3 months and gotten it out even sooner. And this is what I mean about consistency. If I had been consistent, I would have seen more results. And when you realize this and you start seeing it work, you start realizing how addicting it is to have this kind of action and to have this kind of consistency in your life. So, I want to hear what kind of actions you're going to take. I want to hear the actions that you're going to do and how often you're going to do them. And I would like to read your comments below. If you have questions about this or any other topic that you'd like me to cover, feel free to ask me questions in the comments below as well. So that's it for today's video. Please like, share, and subscribe if you have found it helpful. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Ciao!